Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lesia, and today I wanted to share with you my favorite childhood books by Russian authors. So let's get into it. Let's get started with the first book. So you're looking at a book by Николай Носов called Незнайка в Солнечном Городе, which means a boy who knew nothing in a sunny city. And it's basically the downshifted version of Jon Snow. No, not really. So Незнайка is this boy in those canary colored pants, and he is a very funny hero. He is a slacker and he doesn't really like to do anything requiring effort if he can avoid it. And there are a whole series about Незнайка. This is my favorite. Незнайка goes to the sunny city. So the story of the book follows Незнайка, who meets an old wizard and does 3 good deeds in a row, and for this he gets a magical wand which will do anything that Незнайка asks. But if Незнайка does 3 any misdeeds, then the wand loses its power. So Незнайка goes into the city and discovers lots of scientific innovations and cool things, and he goes to see how clothes are made and all kinds of funny stuff, and there are also elevators and spiral, slides. Instead of going down the stairs, you have to slide on a rug, which is totally awesome. It's a very, very funny book. But of course, Neznайka ends up doing 3 misdeeds, and he has to make up for them for the most of the book, because Neznайka's arrival disrupts the very, very nice life that the sunny city used to have. Next on, we have an amazing book, one of the childhood favorites for many, many kids, and this is Winnie Pooh and All, and by Alexandr Miln, but it's retold by a Russian author called Boris Zachodera, and those illustrations are totally magnificent. Here, it's the whole book is absolutely gorgeous. You can see Christopher Robin going downstairs with Winnie the Pooh, and his father telling him the stories, and it's a magnificent book, a magnificent edition. But the most beautiful thing about it is that the stories are kind of retold from a different perspective. It was also turned in a cartoon, which is an absolute classic, and maybe I'll talk about it a bit later. There were lots of verses that were rewritten completely, because it's hard to translate, verses and poems, so he gave them a new twist, and it really works for this book. Next on, we have a collection of stories by Viktor Драгунский, and it's called Денискины Рассказы, which means the stories of Denise, which is a boy's name in Russian. And it's a collection of stories which are very, very fun. They're about the same boy, Denise, who encounters all kinds of stuff. They're pretty unconnected, you can read them in any order. Probably the most famous story is about Denise eating porridge at home at breakfast, and he hates porridge, and his mom promises him they could go to the Kremlin after he finishes eating, and he's very excited for it. But when his mom leaves the kitchen, he really hates the porridge, he can't really eat it, so he dumps it out the window and hopes it will just go unnoticed and they can go to Kremlin. So his mother comes back and says, "Oh, you've done so well, you deserve it, let's go to the Kremlin." And then there's a call and a pounding on the door, and there's a policeman standing there, and he's like, "Why did you throw garbage down the window? Look at this guy who has porridge all over his hat and is burning through." And the mother is kind of looking at the son, and she understands what's going on, and she goes to clean the guy and to apologize to the policeman. And then the boy says, "Mom, I understand now that the truth will always prevail." So those are the kinds of stories that are in this gorgeous, funny book. And he also meets different people. There's also a story about him trying to drink a lot of soda on a bet, and it doesn't really fit. So his friend advises him to stand up in order to fit this last bottle, and it does fit, but he doesn't really feel very well after that. So it's a really super funny, quirky little book. The third book that I'm going to show you today is another reimagining. It's by Volkov, and it's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, and this is the second book in the series, I think. It's called Urfin, Джюс and His Wooden Soldier. It's an absolutely gorgeous edition of the book, and it was done in 1967. It's following Ellie as she is back in Kansas and she gets wind of what's going on in the land of Oz with the evil Urfin Джюс, who managed to get a whole army of wooden soldiers he carved himself, and he got this, you know, like dust that was left from Gingema or Bastinda, I'm not really sure, either one of those. And the soldiers were brought to life and they were obeying his commands, so he took charge and he took control of the land of Oz. The funny thing about the book is that it's not exactly a retelling of the land of Oz, because that was based on the first book, it was kind of a translation, but the rest of the cycle is totally original and it's his invention basically, and Urfin Джюс and those wooden soldiers and them attacking Oz and Ellie hurrying up to get back to the land where she can no longer get very easily. There are more books in it. I don't know if this book is translated into English, but it's something that is definitely worth reading if you like the Land of Oz. And so the last book that I'm going to talk about in this video is a book by Eduard Uspensky, and Eduard, or Edward as it would be in English, is a very famous and well-known author because several of his tales were made into cartoons, and cartoons that are epic, rewatched by everyone knows them, everyone quotes them, no matter the age. And one of his most famous works is the one that I'm going to show you now. It's called Крокодил Гена и его друзья. Crocodile means crocodile, Gena is his name, like Gennady would be the full name. Take a look at this. And it's a part of a collection. There's the spine with one letter from his surname. And I got the whole collection, but right now I'm just showing you one book. If you ever go to Russia or just watch our team at the Olympic Games, you can notice that our official, like, soft toy is Cheburashka. And Cheburashka is this mythical creature with brown, huge, large, round ears, who adores oranges. And he is from this story, he's an authentic creation, never mentioned before. And basically he was packed away from some exotic country and he came to Russia in a crate full of oranges. And he totally adored them, and that's practically when he met Gena. Cheburashka is a very sweet little creature. He dreams of working in kindergarten as a toy, and that's basically his ambition in life, to make others happy. And the main antagonist of the series is Shapakliak. This is like an angry lady with a very flat hat, which is why she's called Shapakliak, because chapeau, I suppose it came from French originally. Basically it means a hat, a really weird hat. And so she's always trying to get rid of him and of Gena, but they're always winning against her, and in the end she's kind of being a little better about it. So there you go, guys, there's my first part of my childhood favorites by Russian authors. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you are from Russia or if you've heard of our fairy tales or books, please let me know down below which one is your favorite, and also tell me which book you would read out of the 5 that I've just listed. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to discuss books and do other fun stuff together. So I hope you have a good day and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!